is a great question. How do you forgive a spouse when they have deeply
or repeatedly
hurt you? It's a very interesting question. Ladies first, or you want to go first?
Why me? Okay. Okay. So forgiveness is, it's right, but it doesn't mean that it's easy. It's what we have to do, but it doesn't mean that it's what we do without, effort or, without, work. It does take work. I think, when you're dealing with some type of betrayal or disappointment or something that is ongoing with your spouse, it does make it harder and harder for the forgiveness process to kind of work, or to, because it's healing, right?
Yeah.
So for example, you were hurt and then you're trying to work through that hurt and trying to heal, and then here comes another hurt, and then it's almost like you keep on pressing on the wound.
Yeah.
And so that can make it a bit challenging. It really, forgiveness comes through prayer, and it does come with the help of the Lord. If we are in our own self working through forgiveness, it can be hard, because really, your hurt is justified. There's your hurt, or the feelings that you have, are real. You're disappointed, but in order for your relationship to last, you have to learn how to forgive.
And you have to be willing to talk about it as well.
Yeah.
I understand you go through your time of hurt, your pain. Like we all been.
We have been into a lot of situations where we've had to work through
forgiveness. And forgiveness is something that is mandatory. It's something that is necessary, not so much for the person that did you wrong, but for you to be free.
Yeah.
Forgiveness is more for you to be emotionally set free from the hurt, the pain, the memories, the scar tissue, what has been done for you. It's more for you to let go so that you could continue to live your life. Because the truth is, you may ask that person to forgive you, or you may not want to forgive the person that did you wrong, and they could be living their best life and living their best life now, while you're still angry, upset, dealing with pain, and can't move forward. And I understand why, because something has been done. But I truly do believe with all my heart that God wants you to be set free from your emotional scars, and that means you need to forgive.
Yeah, it's hard, especially at home.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like it's a spouse, but it's repeated. I think the question was saying that it's repeated.
Yeah.
It's a repeat of problems or issues or challenges that keep happening. So it gets harder and harder to forgive. So
if it keeps happening, so it could be a multiple things. Sorry to cut you.
No, it's okay.
But it could be a multiple things. Like it could be the person keeps hurting you because they haven't learned what they've done is wrong. Number two, it could be a problem like a sexual addiction or substance abuse, and they just don't know how to get around it, or there's control. So there needs to be some extra help, as Caleen said, or some greater supports, boundaries and structures and systems that are put in place that would prevent that person from hurting you again.
Right.
And the truth is, sometimes you yourself have to build up a lot of those boundaries within yourself, because that person does not understand boundaries. So when you create the boundaries and you make it clear as day, they won't cross it. And if they do, it's time to knuckle up.
Yeah, so forgiveness is really a journey. It doesn't happen overnight, Pain doesn't always happen overnight. And with anything, it's healing. There's a healing process.
Yeah.
And I think if your spouse really wants your relationship to work, they're invested in your relationship, they will work and do whatever's necessary for there to be peace and to bring that necessarily healing. They can't heal you, only God can really heal you, but if they truly love you and they want your relationship to work, they'll work hard at doing whatever's necessary to prevent the repeated behavior from happening.
Yeah.
Especially and like Shawn said, if it's situations that require additional support, you might need counseling. That person might need some, extra help.
Guidance. So speak to counselors.
Right. So depending on the situation, but also you definitely, forgiveness is a process, but it is for you, and in order for your relationship to grow, then there has to be love, forgiveness, and acceptance of wrong. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. You can't change.
Good, She's
you can't
good.
change.
She's
You
good.
can't. He's trying to work on something, I'm sure.
Forgiveness is key. You need to learn to forgive. You need to learn to let things go so that you can live your best life now. If you have an opportunity to speak to the person that has done you wrong, they may say, they may, not want to agree for whatever reason.
Yeah.
They may have a different view, but there needs to be some form of empathy. There needs to be some form of acknowledgement of what has been done, and it needs to be discussed.
Yeah.
But I believe if you truly love each other as spouse, or you're in a relationship and you're looking to get married, or you're married already, it's something that's very important. You need to speak about it in order to let it go. You see, when you don't learn to forgive, it creates a whole lot of health problems. You get sick, you get easily frustrated, you worry. There's a lot of other things that come along with it, and then eventually it could lead to a spiritual implication or a demonic stronghold. It's not worth it. Learn to forgive, learn to love hard, and let it go. And we're not saying it's easy. I know it's easier said than done, but we pray that God gives you strength, that gives you the mercy, and gives you the ability to let it go, because it's not worth it in the end. It truly is not worth it.
Yeah. For sure.